Dear partners, dear colleagues, welcome to our today's meeting. It is the 8th of February. It is time for our scheduled meeting. Let's traditionally check the connectivity. On a score from 1 to 10, please tell me how well you can see and hear me. Okay, someone says they can hear me 100 out of 10. And for someone it's 101,000. Well, it means the connectivity is great and we can start. Okay, friends, we have now 1 week passed of this current month, the first week of February. It was quite packed, intensive, and I'd say the last 2 weeks, starting from the 25th of February, we've been seeing one of the most active periods in the work of our crowd investing platform, RSW Systems. Please tell me, friends, what stuck most to your memory, what inspired you most over the last 2 weeks, what served as a source of inspiration for you, food for thought, some new ideas. Please share it in the chat, because today we are drawing interim conclusion or assessment of the funding optimization plan. And colleagues, if you're writing in any language other than Russian in the chat, I'd ask you to first have this message translated in Google Translate and then copy-paste it into the chat. So first, please use Google Translate to translate your message into Russian and then copy-paste it in the chat, so we do not spend additional time on translating it again. So please do that, and meanwhile I will start reading your feedback about your impressions and inspirations that you've got over the last 2 weeks. Okay, let me go through the chat. Okay, the conference with the head of the technology, our partner HP wrote, Zuhra wrote, the last meeting with Dr. Yunitsky. You mean the last, right, that we had a couple of days ago where Dr. Yunitsky and I went live. Okay. The promotion 700 plus and the address by Dr. Yunitsky. This is Gulnara wrote. J.I. wrote scaling up of the company. Then we have discount 1 to 990, discount 700 plus. Then the last meeting with Dr. Yunitsky. Dr. Yunitsky's address, discount 700, discount 1 to 900. Then someone says, we are inspired by the fact that we're given a break or respite before the 25th when we launch the Micron Global. Well, there will be half a day between the end of the promotion and the launch of the platform, so there is no time to rest. We're all working non-stop, 24/7, and I'd say it's a very pleasant tiredness, fatigue that we can have, because I'm sure many of you enjoy what we've been doing so far. I'm sure this is an enjoyable activity. So if you do feel fatigue and tiredness, I'm sure it's a pleasant feeling. And today we're going to discuss the interim results. Next, Yunitsky's interview. Alexander wrote, the openness of the company before us, they put it fair and square, and we went for it. Okay, I agree, Alexander. In Dr. Yunitsky's previous live broadcast, which we held together, he openly and sincerely thanked every investor who extended their helping hand both to the technology and Dr. Yunitsky as the author, as the creator of this brainchild that he's been working on for more than 10 years. And we're helping ourselves as well, as you can see, because as you remember, Unitsky said that right now we're no longer funding the technology, but we are laying the foundation for the business, and we're helping Dr. Unitsky to scale up and go into the market, which is a completely new milestone, but I will tell you more about it later. Next. Raisa said, meeting with Dr. Yunitsky. Alexander says, when will we get our bonuses for discount 700? Well, bonuses for discount 700 are either credited automatically or because of the unpleasant technical breakdown of the website, some algorithms didn't work, and then all the bonuses have to be credited manually. So if you did not get your bonuses for one-off payment, I'm talking about the 20% extra, they will be credited to you by our staff manually. There are quite a lot of tickets now being submitted to the support, so don't worry, nobody is going to be left behind. If you fulfilled your obligation on early termination, we will fulfill ours. Maria Yashkina wrote, support of the project by partners within the promotion discount 700. Evgeny says, we're investing into business. Well, exactly, that's what I was saying. Hensu wrote a good proposal, quality information, purchase original pre-IPO shares. After the payment, the pre-IPO shares are immediately entered into the accounting books of the company. Probably it's Google translated, so what you meant, I think, is shareholders registry. Shan HP says, our team in Haiphong, Vietnam, helping a lot of people purchase pre-IPO shares. And yes, I would like to thank our partners from Vietnam especially. They've been quite active. They will be helping a lot. And I'm sure that Vietnam will show even better results because we know the potential of the Vietnamese market and the strength of the team and the potential of the Vietnamese investors. Then thank you very much, dear Vietnamese team, for your efforts. Next. Nikolai says, discount and your meeting with Yunitsky. Hopefully you will answer to me in Telegram very soon, someone wrote to me, Zoom user. Right now I have like 100 messages unanswered in Telegram. I still have to get to it. And remember, in my last meeting, I asked you not to write me technical questions in Telegram because I still have to refer you to the support, technical support. So we're kind of spending double the effort here because it will not me who will be addressing the technical issue. I will be referring that question to the specialist. So instead you could go directly to the support team bypassing me, because we all have our area of responsibility. And we have a professional customer support team headed by Alexander, and he is very always prompt in reaching out to me and his team to him. So I have a very insistent request to you. If your questions are technical, please ask them or direct them to the customer support. And if you write it to me, I will simply redirect it to the customer support. So it won't get solved sooner. So if it's technical, go to the customer support. If it's individual, you can always reach out to me. I always welcome questions. I always answer questions. Many of you, we have 720 people right now, know me and know how I respond, and many of you talk to me in person. Next, Tatiana wrote, sincerity and the desire to share the tasks with us in this moment. We are glad to be here in this difficult moment. Zuhra says the extension of the promo until the 26th of February. Well, let me be more precise here. Until and through February 25th. 26th is the new day. So Alexander says, let's keep on investing. Of course, I will tell you about that as well. My Huyen says registration of shares was very quick. Well, yes, this is our partners from Vietnam. They're now investing in the technology, and they're saying they are not facing any technical difficulties. Good. Dennis says, it's very good that you didn't shut down. Well, this is your opinion, because we wouldn't have shut down anyways. We always had a plan B, but we all knew that we all know that we're all responsible for our business and technologies that we invested. That's why we decided to self-address this task this way and keep solving it. HP says, I like the fact that we're receiving, that we're going to receive benefits from all the projects within the corridor, technological corridor. Yeah, if I understand you correctly, Dr. Yunitsky announced a huge project in one of the regions in which we're going to have a stake. Well, I'm not going to disclose any information here. I think very soon Dr. Yunitsky will tell us more about it. Next. 2 weeks ago, I saw Yunitsky very concerned and with a long beard. And on the 5th of beard, he was happy and without a beard. Well, you all know that when Dr. Yunitsky made his first address on this topic on the 19th of January, then of course, when 50 years of his life dedicated to this technology is at stake, when there is a huge responsibility before us is at stake, knowing that in the most important periods, his business partners decided to drop out and change their focus. Of course, Dr. Yunitsky was concerned, and he is very grateful to all of us, but thankfully, and thanks to all of us for understanding this situation correctly and for responding to that situation on time and correctly. And thanks to Dr. Yunitsky for allowing us to support this technology on such beneficial terms. So it's a win-win. We all benefited from it. First, we helped preserve the technology that we supported. Second, we protected our own investments, our business. Third, we indeed gave Dr. Yunitsky confidence and his team confidence in tomorrow's day and in understanding that the year 2026 is going to be a breakthrough year in economic and commercial terms for the GTI group of companies and for the engineering company, Yunitsky Strain Technologies Incorporated. So, as Francesco wrote, I think many of us were concerned, but we did not just sit on our hands, we extended our helping hand, and we moved in the right direction. And the number of investors supporting the technology right now, investing into the technology, is a good proof of that. Thank you very much, friends. I see there have been more than 100 comments answering to this question, so I cannot really read them all out. It would take me an entire meeting to simply read out your comments. I see you have quite a lot of words of thanks, and I see that, and I would like to thank you for your feedback. And now let's get back to the interim results. Well, first, what I wanted to point out that indeed there has been quite a lot of activity in the last days of January, especially. We saw that our website was overloaded. On Saturday, we experienced a targeted DDoS attack. Our website was shut down for more than a day in total over the last days of January, but it did not affect the results that we achieved. We all handled those interim tasks and problems. We accepted yet another challenge and overcame that challenge. Came out victorious. So I see that we're moving at a very good pace, but we should not be complacent. We should not be waiting for the 25th of February in order not to shut down the website a second time because of the too much load on it. It's one thing when it is done by the haters and ill-wishers, people who seek benefit from it. And it's totally different thing when we do it ourselves by being overly active or coming to the website all together. Well, we will handle that as well, of course, but I would like to urge you not to postpone your decision to 23rd, 24th, 25th of February. Make your informed decisions right now. We still have enough time, but at the same time, we have understanding that we should not put it off, should not delay. So you kind of need to find strike a perfect balance. It's kind of you should make haste, but without delaying. So take it as you will. As for the interim results, friends, does everyone understand the purpose behind this funding optimization plan implemented by the GTI group of companies to make sure that the technology can scale up? Does everyone understand that? If not, I can give you a quick reminder, because it is very important to understand what this plan is all about and how we see our development in terms of discounts offered. Alexander says, more than understandable. Okay, colleagues, danke, someone wrote. I guess it means thanks, right? Well, depends in what language you're talking. I guess it's not German. So someone says, let's see what someone says. We understand, keep the transfer of bonuses to other back offices to pay for installments. I'll talk about it. So friends, as Maria said, let me reiterate what the funding optimization plan is all about. So we see Denise here asking a question, but look, please find the answer to your question in one of our previous meetings. I think I answered that question like 30 times in 2025. So please rewatch the recordings. We cannot give more time to that question. So now we're going to turn off the chat. Dmitry, could you please disable the chat so we're not distracted by the messages and questions? And I will deliver the message that I have. And here's what I'm going to start with from my question, whether everyone is clear about the optimization plan. So, dear friends, currently we saw the 10-year period of technological development, of how the technology came into being, became viable, received its certification, and we saw national standards adopted specifically for this technology, not only in Belarus, but in other Commonwealth countries. So the technological risks that the project had are no longer there. The technology is viable. We already have one commercial project which is in operation for a year now. We're talking about a track in Aquarel Park, transporting passengers for more than a year now. And right now, the company is beginning construction of a second commercial project in Belarus, ordered by a state-owned agency. So at this stage, we can say with assurance that the technology is viable. Now, what could be the risk, and still, what is the risk related to the next stage? And the next stage is commercialization, the implementation of the technology into reality. I'm talking about the implementation of commercial projects in dozens new countries. So take into account that our business, well, the transportation logistics business of sector-shaping project UST is not a short-term business, but a long-term business. We're talking about a marathon-long business where the crossing the finishing line will exceed our expectations. But crossing that line will not happen in a couple of months or even years from start. It's a kind of a long process. So for the GTI group of companies and UST Incorporated engineering company specifically, be able to scale up that technology, to bring it into the market, the group of companies need to have enough funds that the company would use to cover its operational costs, equal to $2.5 million per month. We know that GTI group of companies has a number of entities, companies, including SW Plant, Yunitsky Strain Technologies Incorporated, 2 R&D centers in 2 different locations, in Eastern Europe and in the Middle East. We know that the company has several marketing divisions, representative offices, implementing commercial projects, holding negotiations in those respective markets. All of it requires expenses, and at this period there is a risk of insufficient funding, and in the case of insufficient funding, the company wouldn't be able to perform its function, which is to work here and now, to operate here and now. And understanding that right now we are in a stage or in a point of time of insufficient funding from one of our main investment partners, I'm talking about the other fundraising platform, due to a number of reasons. And one of the reasons is them losing focus and deciding to go for multi-project orientation, as they call it. There is nothing really critical or scary about it, however, or something that we should criticize them for. It's their decision. Everyone is entitled to their own decisions, but it had a very serious backlash on against the main technology which that fundraising platform raised funds for. And the company came to a point where it experienced severe insufficient funding to cover its operational costs. And that's why measures were taken that we call funding optimization plan. We understand that this funding optimization plan will directly affect future success of the GTI group of companies and the future success of UST technology in the market. Because if we now are not able to ensure continuous operation of the core of the project, I'm talking about UST Incorporated, then how can we talk about future projects that the company has right now in the pipeline, which is going to happen in the next couple of months, half a year or a year, but the company needs to survive throughout that period, have certain financial stability. This is why it was decided to use the original fundraising platform RSW systems for a special unprecedented offer. The offer that nobody expected, and very pleasant offer, and there were more than 100 comments written right now in the chat about it. You actually understood the purpose behind it, and you appreciate it, I see, and it produced the needed interim results. So that funding optimization plan is devised for the next 15 months. How come, you'd ask? Because all the investment proposals that you have right now on RSW systems will be available until the 25th of February. When the 25th of February expires, nobody will be able to purchase those packages again. They will not be available again, except to those who already purchased them before the 25th of February. So we have 5 months installment plans. If a client purchases a package on the 25th of February in installments, pays the final installment in June, then after that 5th month, he will have an opportunity to purchase the same package again. And then 5 months later, they will be able to purchase it again. So from July to December, and then from December for 5 more months, they will be able to purchase it a second time. So all investors who invested until and through the 25th of February will enjoy that opportunity to purchase the same package 2 times again more. By doing this, we, first of all, increase our own investment portfolio, and also we provide the safety net for the company for the next year and a half. And this is not going to be just like a safety net as a rainy day fund. No, that money will be used for scaling up. Because, for example, a project in Sosny, the resort in Belarus, requires the company to build a rolling stock from scratch, and no down payment is going to be paid for it. The company has to pay for it out of its own pocket and then sell it to the customer. So this is why we need that money now. The company needs that money now and not in 6 or 8 months. So that's why we are creating that safety net, that financial stability, so that our technology becomes a business, not just an innovation that we've been creating and surprising everyone with the operation of the testing tracks. No, we're now in the actual business stage, and we have proofs to corroborate that. I'm not going to repeat that. So in order to make sure that we have dozens of such projects in the next couple of years, right now the company needs that second breath, that push. This is why I'm splitting the development of string transportation technology into 2 stages. The stage of technological risks that we successfully passed, and now the stage of economical development and commercial success begins. But there is also a risk here that we are gradually overcoming, because the crowd investing community provided decent support and its helping hand, reassuring shoulder. Nothing happens by chance in this life. We are gradually coming to the launch of the Micron Global platform at the same time, because I fully realize that only those people and investors who came for the name of Dr. Yunitsky are supporting the technology right now, people who believed in his genius. And if you share my opinion here, then please use the Zoom features to put hearts. If you agree with me that we're all here for Dr. Yunitsky's idea, that mostly those who are investing right now are those who came for Dr. Yunitsky's concept, for his idea. This is very good. I see, oh, look at that, how many hearts. So when we launch the Micron Global platform, then we will be able to already achieve stable financial performance financial results to cover companies' regular costs, because we're going to be working with new investors. We're going to be offering them ideas that are based on actual proofs, that are based on actual technology, and it's going to be very lucrative to them as well. Well, it's going to happen in what, probably 17 days, right? On the 26th of February with the launch of Micron Global Platform. So what am I driving at here? Currently, we are focusing on using this investment opportunity available on the platform for our own benefit too, because we're now creating some financial stability for the company for the next 15 months. A lot of people asking question, if right now we're offering such discounts, the biggest discount on the platform right now is 990, starting from 700. What's going to happen next? Well, here's one thing that I can tell you. This funding optimization plan aims to provide stability for the 15 months. However, the stability plan in general aims at 6 months. Well, why I'm giving you these numbers? So in February, we're going to be working on RSW platform. On the 26th, we're going to launch the Micron Global platform, while our leaders are going to design and build their partnership networks, while they will be familiarizing with the features of the back office, while there will be schedules developed for offline, online events. It all takes time. Yes, we're going to do it all in parallel, quickly, in many countries at the same time. However, in order for the platform to achieve the full stability results, it's going to take several months of active work. But we have quite a lot of leaders present here today of our partnership business. They know how this business works, and the company will do its best to make sure that everything is done professionally, quickly, and in a quality manner. Most importantly, in a quality manner. Speed takes the second seat after quality, and that whole work will be based on training in basics, fundamental training. Unfortunately, many investors did not receive that fundamental knowledge from other investment platforms regarding the financial legal framework of the company, GTI. No information was given about some economic, financial, legal, and other matters that, in my opinion, should have been must know. And this is what we're going to start with. This is the work we'll be doing on a regular basis, because our task on Micron Global is to make sure that every person who is going to become our client, partner, and investor in GTI to become a professional in that business. And even if a platform client is not going to be an active agent, not going to make use of the affiliate program, they still need to be a conscientious, well-informed investor. So they will not be asking questions about dividends, remuneration, capitalization, IPO, etc., because they will already know all of it, and they will have all the answers on the surface. And this, I think, is the foundation, the basics that we should start with, like the square one, if you will. So, friends, what else I wanted to say? Last week, I said that on the RSW systems, we're going to shut down the affiliate program in its current form. And then on the last meeting, I said, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to introduce any changes. Well, first of all, there are technical reasons why we're not going to do that. And on the other hand, we'd like to meet halfway all of our investors and partners who are making efforts right now. So we're not going to demotivate you by making such decisions, by changing the referral program. So the affiliate program will be in full operation until the 25th of February without changing anything. You'll still be receiving your referral payments to your bonus accounts, and you will be able to withdraw that money or to transfer it between accounts to your colleagues, for example. You'll still be able to enjoy and use that feature. After the 25th of February, here's what's going to happen. The 25th of February is going to be the last day of that, and then you will have in your back office those of you who will use that discount. You will still have those packages active. For example, right now you can buy one purchase for $1,000 and go for a 5 months installment, or you can buy 5 packages, $1,000 each, and purchase $1,000 per month for 5 packages, 200 per 5, right? Or you can purchase 25 packages. Doesn't matter. Everything that you're going to buy now, you will be able to buy again next time, and they will be available for you for the next 5 months. So after that 5 months, you will be able to make a repeat purchase of that same number of packages. And you do not have to buy all of them. You can keep 1 package, 2 packages, 3 packages, depending on your financial possibilities. And then you will be able to do that a third time 5 months later. But what I wanted to draw your attention to, dear colleagues and partners, please be responsible about it. Do not make your decisions emotionally. Do not put greed ahead of everything, considering the very juicy discounts that you are seeing right now. Because for us, it is very important to understand whether the investors who will purchase their packages in installments, they should stick to their installment plan. Because for the company, it means financial stability and security. For example, if right now you purchase 10 packages and then you're going to keep just 1 package, it will screw up our financial prediction forecasts. It will not be correct, because if an investor purchases 10 packages and they keep just 1 package later, it means the company will receive 90% less money in 5 months. You see what I'm saying here? So do not be emotional here. Just weigh all cons and pros and make a reasonable decision. So it should not impair your financial capabilities, your financial budget, family budget. Just make sure you make the right decision. This is very, very important, both for you and for us as the company, because it will be an indicator of assurance that the company can rely on the same pool of investors and investments, that those packages will be purchased again, and the company will understand how many more packages need to be sold to make sure that everything goes according to plan, to then fulfill their obligations before the investors who extended their helping hand. I'm talking about the funding optimization plan. So friends, I'm asking you to be responsible and to make informed decisions. Now I would like to enable the chat. Dmitry, could you please do that? And I'm asking you, dear colleagues, do you agree with my message that your decision should be very responsible and informed without emotions? We have 950 people right now. People saying, of course we agree. Yes, I see pluses, likes, and hearts. Thank you very much for that. Someone says, it's a very correct statement. Excellent. Yes, I'm making a very informed decision. Well, this is very good. I'm very glad to be among like-minded people. So as for the question related to what's going to happen to the RSW systems down the road, until the 25th of February, anyone can register on RSW systems platform. Any person who used to be an investor in the technology. For example, Andrei says, in SWC, they had a very good training. Well, I don't know what they trained about, probably on the topic they wanted to know, people to know. But when people are asking me questions about the legal structure of GTI without knowing which holding has how many shares, why it's structured in such a way, why Yunitsky has 50% of pre-IPO shares, etc. And those questions were asked to me by people who raised millions of dollars into the technology and who have hundreds of thousands of people in their networks. So what SWC taught people, if they didn't know that? Probably they taught them something else and not the basics. But I realized it wasn't the basics that they should know. I'm talking about the very concept people came for and came to raise funds for and fund. And unfortunately, they didn't know that. And when investors don't understand that, when investors don't understand that irrespective through which platform they invested, SWC, RSW, or SWIG, the registry of shareholders is the same. And they didn't know that. They didn't know. They thought they held SWC shares or RSW shares and not GTI pre-IPO shares. And those people thought that they held shares in a different entity, not in GTI, you see? So yeah, I mean, I'm getting distracted here. Now let's go back to the RSW systems and its future. Regardless of where you became an investor, whether on SWC, RSW systems, or SWIG, if you want to register again or if you want to bring someone else, you can do that on RSW systems, but before the 25th of February. Well, let's put it before 26th of February. Until the 26th of February, you will be able to register on RSW systems, regardless of through which platform you invested before. You will still see your pre-IPO shares in your account. Those people who did not have any previous accounts will not be elsewhere, I mean SWC or SWIG, will not be able to register on RSW systems after the 26th of February. So people who will register before the 26th, they will still have access to their previous accounts with the launch of Micron Global, and they will be able to check their accounts, check their history of purchases, etc. But after the 26th, nobody will be able to register on RSW systems, except those old investors. So, and again, all of your purchases made on RSW systems will still be available. And I'm talking about installments, for example. If you made installment purchases, you'll be able to finish your installments on the RSW systems. Okay? And here's the question. Are we clear that newcomers will not be able to register on RSW systems after the 26th of February? Please tell me if you understand that newcomers will not be able to register on RSW systems on 26th of February and after. Please tell me in the chat whether you're clear about it or not.
Так, ну, я вижу реакции здесь в Zoom, а чат, наверное, у нас пока закрыт.
I think the chat is still closed, but I have a lot of reactions in Zoom, thumbs up and hearts and likes. Okay, as for the Micron Global platform and the future discounts, here's the deal, colleagues. The optimization plan is designed for at least 6 months, and the safety net plan is 15 months long. So we're creating the safety net right now, and that safety net creation will end in 17 days. So we have 17 days to create that safety net. It will end on the 25th of February. As for the optimization and discount reduction, of course, after the launch of the Micron Global platform, the discount will be reduced. It will be reduced gradually, depending on the results, on the performance of GTI and UST Incorporated. Of course, we cannot reduce the discounts and bring them to the current market discounts, the one that we worked 2 weeks ago with, like 100 plus. But on Micron Global, the discounts will be reduced gradually, but not rapidly, from 700 to 100. Of course, the investment packages that you purchased right now in your RSW systems back office are the juiciest discounts, because probably the discount 990 was available like 11 years ago. So based on the results, performance shown by GTI for the next 2-3 months, the discount will be reduced, and it will be reduced gradually. So probably within 3 to 6 months, well, at least 6 months, we will gradually reduce the discounts to the market value. So those basic value. So those partners who would like to be active in the affiliate program on Micron Global, you will have the chance to be quite active in working on creating your affiliate network and make very good earnings from commissions. Now we have more and more network leaders joining us. Those who had high ranks in previous platforms will have the same high ranks on the new platform. We're going to provide quite a lot of incentives and bonuses, and I will announce them all at the start of the platform on the 26th of February. All those nuances and starting discounts will be announced on the 26th of February. But obviously, friends, and I think you fully realize that right now you have the most lucrative proposals throughout the entire history of the UST and GTI, because right now it is the most crucial, pivotal points in history. So right now, let's focus on what we have. We have 2 parallel tasks. Task number 1 is to be as active as possible and be very active personally and take a proactive stance in helping the company create that financial stability for the foreseeable future of the company, and do that through the RSW systems. And then in parallel with that, we will be getting ready for the launch of the Micron Global platform, preparing our partnership networks, working with our structures, and next week we're going to have scheduled meetings with our leaders in regions. We're already working with dozens of countries on a regular basis, and right now we'll be preparing those regions for the launch. We will be planning a number of events starting spring 2026 on different continents, different countries. We're going to start actively working in those regions, so we need to get ready for that. Those of you who are in direct contact with me, I'm talking about our regional leaders, know what I'm talking about. We've already started this work, and we're actively involved in it, engaged in it. So on the 26th of February, I'm going to announce a number of other updates, very pleasant updates, good news, but let's not jump ahead of ourselves. We will have several more meetings before that. Next meeting is going to be held on Sunday as well, on the 15th of February. And in between, I think I'm going to have a series of video. We are going to have a series of video addresses by Dr. Yunitsky, and we will get answers to a number of other questions raised by investors. So throughout this period, it is very important that Dr. Yunitsky finds time and think it's necessary to give his feedback as the owner of the technology. I read the comments to our last meeting, our interview between me and Dr. Yunitsky, and there was this smarty pants who wrote, he said, when everything was stable, when the funding was stable, Dr. Yunitsky did not held frequent live broadcasts. And now when the situation is difficult, Dr. Yunitsky dignified the investors with his presence. And I'm asking, what's so strange about it? What's so bad about it? Dr. Yunitsky is the author and the owner of the technology, and he dedicated 50 years of his life to this project. And when there was a continuous funding, when all the technological processes related to testing, certification, went smoothly under his leadership and he gave time to it, that was his job. In 2014, he addressed people supported him, the funding process started, and Dr. Yunitsky started doing what he was supposed to be doing, overlooking the project, fulfilling his obligation before us, implementing the technology, and not just before us, but before himself as well, him being the major investor in UST. He did that in 2014. He made a major address to people. We all saw that, and that's what we came for. And he's been doing his job ever since. We see the result. He created an engineering school, he certified the technology, he made sure the national standards are adopted, his engineering company was recognized as an R&D institute. Now, you need more than 2 hands to show the number of serious achievements the company has achieved, and that's what he's been doing, working on. But when his partners that had been working with him for 10 years suddenly decided to drop out and take on a different course, what was Yunitsky supposed to be? Act like an ostrich and hide his head in the sand? No. He came out forward and he said, friends, Romans, countrymen, here's the situation we're in. And depending on our future actions, we can overcome it or perish doing it. And he said that my address to you right now is way more important than my address back in 2014. We all heard it. So what's so bad about it? And the fact that Dr. Yunitsky right now addressed directly and reached out to investors as the author of the technology, as an investor himself, there is nothing really bad about it. There is nothing to be ashamed of. Let's enable the chat, and I would like to see your feedback. Give me pluses if you agree with what I'm saying right now, or tens. You see, this is your feedback. You can read it all out. I'm not deleting any comments here. So what's going to happen? I'm talking about the series of Dr. Yunitsky's addresses, probably more than addresses, clarifications, explanations. It's very great. It's very good. Right now, as soon as we are stable, ensure stable continuous funding, then Dr. Yunitsky will be again focused on the technology. Well, he never lost focus. He's still working in parallel on a huge project, and I can tell you about it because I know for sure that this is the project can give us a huge breakthrough in a very short period, and that breakthrough probably will be the one that will be covered by our funding optimization plan thanks to our discounts. This is going to be the springboard, because every time you touch the bottom rock, the rock bottom, then you spring back. And that's how it goes. And Yunitsky went through it at least 7 times. And Dr. Yunitsky recently told me, and we will publish that quote in Telegram channel. It will publish it in our social media. He said this: the real success is about moving forward from fall to fall, but with ever-increasing enthusiasm. So Dr. Yunitsky fell quite a lot of time. His business was taken away from him on numerous occasions. And there was a situation which was one step short of actual fall, when he was kind of punched below the belt, right? And kind of sucker punched. But still, he came out victorious. And at the same time, he still focused on the implementation of the technology as the chief engineer. So let's be happy that we are the ones helping him do that. That we are all of the same mind, that we're living at the same time with a person who is the person of the century, who will make history. And let's be glad we are making history as well. Let's value that, appreciate the moment. And if you do feel like that, then let's prove it with our words and actions that you are making. And as a result, I told you about I promised to tell you about the interim results. We all solve the task that was before us in January, which is to ensure that we cover 90% of costs that the company had to ensure its operations. Well, when we're talking about 90%, you know what the monthly costs are, right? So you can do the math yourselves, how much we raised in that period. And we raised that money in literally 6 days of January by joint efforts. Right now, our task is to ensure that stability and assurance for the next half a year, at least next half a year. But the overall plan is devised to ensure the stability for the next 15 months. That's why our investment decisions should be well informed when we make use of this unique discount. We'll have to strike a balance between providing the safety net and giving time to Micron Global to set firm on its feet. So we have this balance between the old platform that we can use right now, that everything started with, and give time to the new platform to properly shape and set firmly on its feet. So that's the balance we need to strike. And I hope you understand the reason and a lot of thought put before making this managerial decision. So give me some reaction, give me hearts, please, in the chat if you support and if you are in the same mind to me. Give me some feedback, probably your thoughts, hearts, pluses, tens in your chat. Oh, probably some of you might give a minus, I don't know. It's up to you, of course. I'm not going to dictate what you should say. Okay. Oh, I see tens and dozens, hundreds of feedback, and not a single negative feedback. Well, this quite speaks a lot. Friends, we came here not for each other or for the community. We came for a persona, for a person with a capital P. The idea that brings people together. There would be no idea without Yunitsky, and there would be no Yunitsky without the idea, and we wouldn't have our community without Yunitsky and his idea. So we wouldn't be talking here and working for the common result. And your reaction is a firm proof of that. So, friends, I would like, at the end of our meeting today, to tell you, thank you very much for being so active. It is only with such people, with such reliable partner as crowd investing, and we are that partner, only together we will be able not just to come out of this situation by optimizing the funding process, but we will be able in the next year or years use crowd investing not only to ensure full funding of the GTI group of companies, but also to start its scaling up, because crowd investing can be used in future as an instrument for fundraising commercial projects, such as construction of eco houses, which is one of the Dr. Unitsky projects, scaling up of Uterra biohumus project. All of it is going to be on our platform, our future platform, I'd say current platform, because it's almost ready for operation, that will welcome you all as its clients.
Дорогие
So,
друзья,
dear
я
friends,
вас
I
искренне
would like to
благодарю за
sincerely
уделенное
thank
время
you for the
сегодня.
time given
Благодарю
today.
вас за то,
I
что
would
вы
like to thank
пришли
you
на
for coming
сегодняшний
to
эфир.
today's meeting,
И
and
приглашаю вас
I'm
на
inviting you
следующую
to our
встречу,
next
которая
meeting that is
состоится
going to be
в
held
следующее
next
воскресенье в это же
Sunday,
время
same time,
в 17:00
at
по московскому
1700
времени,
hours Moscow
15
time,
по
at 3 p.m.
европейскому. Ну и
Central
дальше
European
каждый смотрит
time,
по
and then
своим
you
часовым
should check what
поясам.
time it
И
is in your
надеюсь,
time
что на
zone.
этой неделе мы
And
еще
also this
увидимся
week
с
we're
Анатолием
going
Эдуардовичем в
to
том или ином формате,
probably meet with
но
Dr. Yunitsky
есть
in this
много
format
еще
or another.
информации у
There's still
него
quite a lot of
для нас,
information to share
инвесторов,
with
с
us,
точки зрения
investors, in terms
с
of
точки зрения и стратегии на
strategy for the
ближайшие
next
месяцы и
months and
годы и
years,
много
and many,
другого.
many other important
Желаю вам, коллеги,
updates. I would like
успешных,
to wish you, dear
плодотворных
colleagues,
дней,
successful, productive days
плодотворной
ahead,
недели,
a
поэтому не
productive week. So
останавливаемся,
let's
держим
not stop.
тот же темп.
Let's keep the
Кому нужна
pace.
будет
If you
стратегическая
need
поддержка по
strategic
работе с
support in
инвесторами,
working with your
возможно, с крупными
investors,
инвесторами,
big
либо
investors, for
с
example,
работой
or
с
working
сетью
with your
партнерами,
partners and networks,
пишите мне в личку,
DM
и мы
me,
такие
and
встречи
we will
организуем.
organize such meetings.
Всем
Have a nice
приятного
rest of the
вечера,
evening,
и
and
мы
we can do
это
it,
сделаем,
friends.
друзья. We can do it.
This is
Это
our
наш призыв
slogan, and
на
this is our
этот
call to action for the
2026
year
год.
2026.
Спасибо.
Thank you very
До
much.
встречи.
Until we meet
Пока-пока.
again. Bye bye.
The lights begin. The code runs clean. Machines awake, but nothing's seen. A measured breath, a silent cue. We start again. Because we do. Repeat, obey, repeat again. The system speaks, we understand. We can do it. That's enough. We can do it. Hard and rough. We can do it under rule. We can do it. Keep it cool. The glass reflects, the wires hum, a sterile faith in what's to come. Hands aligned, no need to feel. Control becomes the new idea. Command, receive, delay, decline. We leave no trace, we stay confined. We can do it. We comply. We can do it. We don't try. We can do it in the gray. We can do it Progress carved in discipline. Silence builds, the world resets. We do what the system expects. We can do it.